I want to talk to you about the day after. We spend a tremendous amount of time in our culture analyzing the crash. We have endless checklists for identifying narcissists, we have red flags for gaslighting, and we have podcasts about how to spot a manipulator. And that is important work. It is vital to know what you are walking away from so you can name it. But we don't talk enough about the silence that follows the door slamming shut. We don't talk about the specific, hollow ache of waking up in a safe house with a safe nervous system and realizing you have absolutely no idea who you are anymore. When you leave a toxic relationship, you aren't just walking away from a partner or a friend or a parent. You are walking away from a version of yourself that you meticulously crafted just to survive. You are walking away from the person who learned to walk on eggshells so quietly that you stopped making sound. You are walking away from the person who learned to read the micro expressions on someone else's face better than you could read your own heart. So, you leave. The threat is gone. But the armor? You're still wearing 50 pounds of steel. And the data tells us something profound and difficult about this moment. The research shows that you cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. But the environment isn't just the house you lived in or the office you worked in. The environment is your own head. The environment is the stories you are telling yourself about what happened. And usually, the first story we write, what I call the shitty first draft, is a story about shame. In the aftermath of a toxic dynamic, shame is the first responder. It's that gremlin sitting on your shoulder whispering, "You knew better. Why did you stay so long? How could you be so smart and successful in your career, but so stupid in your living room?" I want to stop you right there, because that spiral is not just painful, it is biologically designed to keep you small. Toxic relationships are shame factories. They rely on the subtle, consistent message that you are not enough, that you are crazy, or that you are too sensitive. This is what I call the hustle. You hustle for your worthiness. You try to be perfect enough, quiet enough, or successful enough to finally earn the love that was promised to you. And when you finally step out of that arena, you are exhausted. You are experiencing what we call in the research empathy fatigue and compassion fatigue, but directed at yourself. You have nothing left. The temptation, the big seductive lie we tell ourselves when we are hurting is to think, "I will just build a wall. I will never let anyone hurt me like that again." We think if we armor up, we'll be safe. But here is what I know for sure from decades of studying vulnerability. Walls keep you safe, but they also keep you lonely. Armor protects you from pain, but it also protects you from joy. It keeps the bad stuff out, but it keeps the air out too. Healing is not about building a higher wall. Healing is about learning to put down the shield, take off the helmet, and say, "I am hurt, I am raw, and I am still worthy of love." That is the bravest work you will ever do. One of the hardest parts of this specific type of healing is the rumble with reality. When you have been in a situation involving gaslighting where someone has systematically denied your reality to the point where you don't trust your own memory or feelings, getting out feels like free falling. You look back and wonder if you made it all up. You wonder if you were the problem. This is the shame gremlin talking again. Shame hates it when we reach out and tell our story. Shame loves secrecy. It loves the dark. The antidote to this confusion is not overanalyzing the past. It's owning your story. Owning your story is hard. It means admitting, "I loved someone who couldn't love me back," or "I betrayed myself to keep the peace." It's painful. But you can either walk inside your story and own it, or you can stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness. Healing requires a reality check, where you look at the data of your life and say, "No, I was there, it happened, it was that bad, and I survived it." The question I get asked most often by people coming out of these relationships is, "Brene, how do I trust again?" They want to know how to trust a new partner, or a new boss, or a new friend. And my answer is always the same, and nobody likes it. You don't start by trusting others. You start by trusting yourself. In a toxic relationship, your self-trust is the first casualty. You were told your gut instincts were wrong so many times that you severed the connection between your intuition and your brain. We use the marble jar metaphor for trust. Every time someone supports you, listens to you, or shows up for you, they put a marble in the jar. When the jar is full, you trust them. Healing is the slow, agonizing work of putting marbles back into your own jar. We do that through the anatomy of trust, which we call braving. If you want to heal, you have to brave the wilderness of your own heart. That starts with boundaries. In toxic love, boundaries are viewed as insults or challenges. In healthy love, boundaries are the way we love ourselves and others. Healing means asking yourself, what is okay and what is not okay, and actually listening to the answer. Then you have to look at reliability. Do you do what you say you're going to do for yourself? If you say you're going to take a walk to clear your head, do you go? If you say you're going to block their number, do you do it? Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you put a marble in the jar. Then there is accountability. This is where we own our part, not the abuse that is never your fault, but we own our choices. We own the fact that we stayed when we should have left. We forgive ourselves for it, but we own it. That ownership gives us the power to choose differently next time. We also need the vault. You stop sharing your story with people who haven't earned the right to hear it. You treat your heart like a vault. You don't overshare to get validation. You share with the people who love you, not the people who are just curious. Next is integrity. This is choosing courage over comfort. It's choosing what is right over what is fun, fast, or easy. And let me tell you, texting your toxic ex is fast and easy. Not texting them, that's integrity. That's courage. Then we have non-judgment. Can you look at your past self, the one who stayed, the one who pleaded, the one who acted out of character, and offer them grace? Can you be in the struggle without judging yourself for struggling? And finally, generosity. Can you interpret your own behaviors with the most generous assumptions? Instead of saying, I'm so stupid for missing them, can you say, I have a big heart that grieves deeply, and that is a superpower, not a weakness. Now, I need to manage your expectations about the timeline. We all want the Phoenix Rising moment. We want the montage in the movie where the music swells, you get a new haircut, you get the promotion, and you never look back. But real life happens in the messy middle. The messy middle is when the adrenaline wears off. It's the Tuesday night, 3 months later, when you're lonely and bored and your brain starts romanticizing the chaos. Because, believe it or not, chaos is addictive. If you've been in a high conflict relationship, peace can feel boring. It can feel like anxiety. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. And when it doesn't, you want to create a storm just to feel normal again. This is where the real work happens. You have to be willing to sit in the discomfort of peace. You have to be willing to feel the grief without numbing it. We are a nation of numbers. We numb with food, with scrolling, with work, with booze, with busyness. But you cannot selectively numb emotion. When you numb the dark, painful stuff, the grief, the shame, the fear, you also numb the joy, the gratitude, and the happiness. So you have to feel it. You have to sit on the edge of your bed and cry until you are empty. And then you have to get up, wash your face, and do it again the next day. That is not weakness. That is the bravest thing you will ever do. Ultimately, healing is about reclaiming your wild heart. A wild heart is not a heart that is reckless. It's a heart that can survive the wilderness. It's a heart that belongs to itself. In a toxic relationship, you are constantly fitting in. You are contorting yourself to fit someone else's expectations. But fitting in is the opposite of belonging. Fitting in is changing who you are to be accepted. Belonging is being accepted for who you are. The goal of healing is to reach a place where you belong to yourself so fully that you don't need anyone else to validate your existence. This requires a strong back and a soft front. The strong back is your boundaries. It's your self-respect. It's your spine. It's the ability to say no and mean it. It's the ability to walk away from situations that diminish you. The soft front is the vulnerability. It's keeping your heart open to the world, despite what happened. It's refusing to let one person's inability to love you turn you into someone who cannot love. If you let them make you bitter, if you let them make you hard, they win. They still own you. Don't let them own your capacity for joy. I want to talk a little bit about the biology of why this feels so dangerous. We are neurobiologically hardwired for connection. It's not just a preference, it's a survival instinct. When we are disconnected, or when connection is threatened, Our nervous system goes into panic mode. In a toxic relationship, you have likely been living in a state of chronic fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. You've been hypervigilant. When you step out of that, your body doesn't realize the war is over. You might feel jumpy, you might have trouble sleeping, you might feel a desperate urge to reach back out to the person who hurt you. That is not because you are weak, it is because you are withdrawing from the chemical rush of the cycle. This is why I tell people that self-compassion is the most critical tool in your toolbox. Self-compassion isn't fluff, it isn't self-indulgence. It is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. If your best friend called you, sobbing because she missed her ex who treated her terribly, you wouldn't say, "You're pathetic, get over it." You would say, "I know it hurts. I know it's hard. I'm here." You have to learn to be that voice for yourself. You have to interrupt the shame spiral with a new tape that says, "I am hurting because I loved, and that is okay. I am healing, and that takes time." There is a concept I love called the arena. It's from a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. He talks about how it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. When you leave a toxic relationship, you have just fought a gladiator match in the arena. You are covered in dust and sweat and blood, and there will be people in the cheap seats, maybe family members who don't understand, or friends who say, "I told you so," who will try to critique your recovery. They will say you should be over it by now. They will say you shouldn't have stayed so long. I need you to hear me on this. Do not listen to the people in the cheap seats. If they haven't been in the arena, if they haven't had their heart broken and their reality twisted and had to rebuild themselves from the ground up, their feedback does not matter. Close your ears to the critics and open your heart to the fellow gladiators. Find the people who have been there. Find the people who say, "I see your dust and your blood, and I honor it." Those are your people. As you move forward, you will start to write a new story. And this story won't be a fairy tale. It won't be perfect. It will be a story of resilience. You will have days where you stumble. You will have days where you check their social media and feel like you're back at square one. That's okay. That's part of the process. Resilience isn't about bouncing back to who you were before. It's about growing into who you are becoming. It's about integration. You take the pain, the lesson, the heartbreak, and you weave it into the tapestry of your life. You don't hide it. You don't pretend it didn't happen. You wear it as a badge of honor that says, "I have lived, I have loved, I have lost, and I am still standing." There is a sentence that I carry with me, and it's the definition of wholehearted living. No matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. The toxic relationship tried to teach you that you are conditional, that you are only lovable if you are quiet, if you are compliant, if you are perfect, if you don't have needs. The revolution, the resurrection is looking in the mirror, seeing the scars, seeing the mess, seeing the unfinished business, and saying, "I am imperfect, and I am enough." You are worthy of love and belonging, not because of what you do, or who you are with, or how well you fix the relationship. You are worthy simply because you exist. So, take the armor off. It's heavy, and you don't need it where you're going. The new chapter is waiting, and it requires you to be brave, to be seen, and to be you. It requires you to risk your heart again, but this time with your eyes wide open and your boundaries firmly in place. It requires you to trust that even if you fall, you now know how to get back up. You have the skills, you have the strength, you have the marble jar, and most importantly, you have yourself. Go be you.